Hello everyone, watch this review here where they look at Egon from Mattel's Retroaction Real Ghostbusters line. The Real Ghostbusters, of course, being the cartoon rather than the films. Now in general, I'm not sure how I feel about the entire Ghostbusters franchise at this point. As a child, I really adored the cartoon. I fondly remember owning figures for it. As an adult, I like the movies, but it's not like a crazy amount of like, so when I began seeing the retroaction figures, I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to bother picking any up, but I ended up grabbing this one on clearance, and I think I'm also going to pick up the Bankman, and I already own the Sew-In Janine pack, so those will probably be reviewed eventually. But hold on a second and I'll get them out of the box. Egon comes with a proton pack, and by the way, I often get the words proton and photon mixed up, given that they're both scientist terms and they sound very much alike. As well as a PKE meter, which measures EMF. It's drastically different than the style used in the movie. The movie ones had those flip out wings and stuff. This has these cute little antenna radars here. Very neat. Now, I imagine it'll be kind of tricky to get this pack on him. It doesn't look like there's a lot of clearance, and yeah, hold on a second. And here we have Egon with his little unlicensed nuclear reactor strapped to his back. Now, whenever I go to put these things on, I can't remember if the sort of round part is on the bottom or the top. I believe it's on the bottom, just judging from the artwork and stuff. But I mean, you never so much notice the sort of unit itself. Generally, you see the characters from the front holding their proton blasters. That's not the right word for it, but it's the word I'm going to use for the time being. I'll probably toss the correct term in the annotation. It might have been proton wand. At any rate, the character can accommodate it pretty easily in the hand. Fits kind of securely. I do somewhat wish that they would have given a little projectile for it, but I can understand that they didn't. Now, as previously mentioned, these are based on the cartoon style rather than the films, which is why the characters all have different outfits. Cartoons so often just do these additional things to differentiate the characters. And in general, I do love the fact that they opted for the cartoon look rather than the film, because we already have the film counterparts, the Movie Masters line, so, it gives them a little bit more flexibility here. We get to see a more, I guess, characteristic, or what's the word? It's sort of an adjective for caricature. I don't even know. But, an exaggerated sort of style of head sculpt here. It's a lot cooler than, say the general head. Not a whole lot to say otherwise. They use a sort of standard body for the figure itself, and they toss over the clothing. I will mention that he has a Ghostbusters logo, which is a sticker tossed onto the arm. These sort of elbow pads or arm pads or whatever are a separate piece. They're movable or removable if you wish. This portion here is sewn in. It's not a separate bit. And if you so desired, you could remove the outfit. He's got a zipper on the back, but I'm not sure what the point of that would be. In terms of articulation, his arms are going to be somewhat restricted by the shoulder straps, but he has ball-jointed shoulders. Not a whole lot of motion, just because the outfit and the straps here sort of impede things, and it warps the material somewhat. Sort of a hinge here at the elbow. The wrists are on something of a ball socket, so you get in, out, full range of rotation. Now, on the previous ones, they had, well, for the superheroes, for the DC Retroaction Superheroes line, they had a sort of ab joint here, which had in-out motion, but it was rubber banded. I can't tell if it's the same here, 'cause you can't even really so much feel the rotation, but it might be the case. There's just so much stuff here that it's hard to really tell. The legs do feel rubber banded though, which may have been the style of the original Megos, I don't know, I didn't collect Megos. And then down at the knee we have a single joint. The ankles probably have a ball socket as well, but, you know, with the boots on you aren't going to be able to sort of access that. All in all, Egon is a pretty decent looking figure if you're a fan of the Retroaction line, or Megos, or what have you. Might warrant a pickup. For average Ghostbusters fans, it's a little bit trickier. I mean, I was into Ghostbusters as a kid and all, so logically I should like this, but I don't feel a whole lot towards it. It's still a sort of neat collectible and, you know, decent on the shelf. Just needs some giant-sized ghost or whatever for it to be posed next to. At any rate, this has been a look at Mattel's Retroaction Real Ghostbusters Egon. Until next time, folks.